Oh, is that the worst job you ever did, Riley?
So it was up there.
It was up there.
Close the shop.
Closing
Job
shop.
done.
Job's done. Time to get a cold can of Coke.
Oh, I'm busting for a drink.
Or a nice meat pie. Don't you think a meat pie would be nice? Woo! New things I'm trying. Woo! Right.
Job team.
Okay, we're here. I'm going to unload this into this space here. Straight from here. I don't think it's worth putting it onto pallets and moving it. We'll just put it straight away. Fun. You want to put it in? Yeah? Why did you say you need a tetanus shot? Thanks for the help, Chris.
Just one on the top.
We done?
Yeah.
High five. I killed him. I killed him, guys. Oh, we're done. Well.
Thanks, Chris. You made all the difference. I knew it.
We did it.
Go team.
The rest is now up to me. Oh my goodness. Chris wants a tetanus shot. I feel dizzy.
Home to the mountain.
Just another manic Monday. I swear that's my theme song, guys. Every Monday I come in here and I just go, what am I doing? I got a big day here in the warehouse today, but before I start, I wanted to update you on a couple of things. Firstly is the 10 times challenge. If you've been following along for my last few videos, you will know that Tom, the warehouse boy, set me a challenge the other day, which went for 5 days. And what it was that for every sale I made in my store, I had to list another 10 items the next day. So for example, if I sold 10 items on the Thursday, it meant that I had to do 100 listings on the Friday. So this was for 5 days. And I just wanted to let you know how I went with that challenge. So for the first 4 days, I did awesome. I did exactly what I needed to do. I got all my listings done. I think the most listings I did on one day was about 250 listings, I think, from memory. I had about 25 sales. My sales were down for that period. I remember there was one day, I think it was the second day, I had all those glitches in my eBay store, and I only did about, I think it was about 8 orders, which was really, really low for my store. And anyway, so that afternoon, I actually felt bad thinking, oh, I only have to do 80 listings today. Woohoo. You know, I was thinking the universe is being nice to me, but I actually felt a little bit bad because normally I would do more than 8 orders. So I think that day I actually pushed for about 100 listings, which was more than I had to do, but I kind of just felt like I was cheating or something, because my sales were definitely down because the eBay was having server issues. And yeah, it was what it is what it was. What it is, whatever the saying is. So on the last day of the challenge though, I'm going to say I failed. And the reason was the last day of the challenge was when I had to do the really big book haul that I picked up from the dirty storage unit. And you will have seen that video on my channel as well. If you missed it, go back a couple of days. It was pretty fun to watch. But basically, I did a really big haul, and that haul took me 10 hours to complete. So from the moment I went to pick up the car, the van that we had to hire to pick up this big book collection, until the moment I had to take the van back to the rental place, it took 10 hours. So then by the time I got home, cooked dinner, it was a huge day. I was absolutely exhausted. I didn't have any photos, and I certainly wasn't going to come back after that big pickup, stand here for 2 hours taking a couple of 100 photos, and then go home and list them. I literally would have had a 24-hour day, I think, and I just didn't have the energy for it. After pushing hard for 4 days prior and having some late nights and then doing that massive haul, was just too much for me. So in some ways I failed the challenge, but in other ways I don't think I failed, because I did my best, and I think that's what it was all about. It got me motivated, it got me listing more in my store, and it's got me motivated again to push going forward this week. But right now, my biggest thing that I've got to do today is sort out the big book haul that I got from the storage container. Gloves are coming on. It's cold in here, guys, if you're wondering about my silly ear warmers. You better get used to them. I think they're going to be like a fashion statement in all my winter videos. Okay. There's a lot of Islamic books in this haul, and I haven't sold very many Islamic books, so I'm not very familiar with the genre. It's kind of good. I get to learn about a different niche, but you know, it's really hard because quite often I can do a pick via my eye. Like I can go, yep, that one's going to sell, or that one's not going to sell, or that one's rubbish, or that one's not rubbish, and I can tell, and I know by looking at them, because I'm familiar with them, because I've been doing books for so long, what books I will be able to sell for what money, and I'll know whether or not it's going to be worth me selling. But these kind of books I'm not familiar with. So there's a lot of price comping that needs to go on. But like this whole book box is pretty much duplicates of the same books. So all I need to do now is price comp these. And if it's not worth it, then I've got a whole lot that I can discard. And if it is worth it, it is. But there is a lot of Islamic books here. And rather than just... if I don't want to sell them, I possibly won't just, you know, discard them. I might contact one of the local Islamic schools and see if they're interested in them. So you have to be checking old books like this, because like this is what I mean about when you're discarding a book. You're discarding a book because of the condition that it's in. And you really have to like flip through some of these old books to make sure that they're still intact. I might have to bundle some of these. I'm squatting. I don't know if you can see me. So what I've decided to do is make some piles here, because there's so much of this stuff that I just don't know if it's even worth me selling. So there's going to be a few piles. I'm going to have the discard pile, which is going to be the stuff that's clearly rubbish. It's either broken, torn, you know, not worthy of selling. So there'll be the rubbish pile. Then there's going to be the pile of, yep, I think I'm going to list this. And then there's going to be the pile of, I don't know if I'm going to list this. Because this is a very, very different and unique haul. It makes it so much harder, and it's so much more time consuming. So I changed my method while I was going, because I was clearly going to run out on my bench sorting these books. So what I did, all down the side of this first bookcase, I took all the books that were in there that were for my unlisted inventory. Now, there were a lot of books that I got at the local book fairs and just from hauls that I've picked up over the last few months. And voila, I have put these here next to my photography station, and these are going to be the next lot of books over the next few days that I'm photographing and getting listed in my store. The main focus at the moment is just to empty these boxes. So I've emptied them there. I've done, some of the books have been discarded, and all the ones that I'm not sure of, they're all going on these bookcases. The problem is, without price comping any of these books, I don't know if they're worth keeping or not. I'm sure half of them are not worth keeping, but until I look them up, because I'm unfamiliar with them, and when you're unfamiliar with a book or a genre, you have to be price comping it, because you can't judge a book by its cover. They can have the worst cover, they can be in the worst condition, and they can be worth a lot of money. So I have to be really careful with what I'm throwing away. I'm only really getting rid of the stuff that is damaged or, you know, just too disgusting looking to be able to sell. So I was going to say smell, because while I'm on the topic of smell, these books are a little bit stinky. They've been trapped in these boxes for a while in that hot storage container. I do need to get some vinegar in here ASAP. Little containers of vinegar that I'm going to put here, or bottles or something on those bookcases, just to try and absorb some of that odor. If you didn't know, guys, vinegar is a great natural substance that will naturally absorb odors. So in my old shed at home, I had little containers of vinegar that you couldn't see the back of all my shelves and stuff, down in the corners and stuff, all hidden away so I wouldn't knock them. Bowls of vinegar everywhere, and I just leave them there until it all absorbs, and then I fill them up with more. But there's definitely a scent in here, and I think even on the way home this afternoon, I will look at going and buying a diffuser, I think, and some eucalyptus oil, and I'll just get some like natural oil in here with a pleasant smell, just trying to absorb some of this. It's just old book smell, old book that's been stored in old boxes, and yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you get some books and they've got old book smell. It's just how they've been stored, etc., etc. It's 1 o'clock now, and I think I'm done here for the day, because I still need to get some photography done so I can get some listing done tonight. I'm absolutely starving. I need something to eat and drink. So I think I'll finish up here with, like, I feel like I did a good chunk of that today. If I can get some of this photographed now, I can start emptying some of the other bookcase. I can start emptying some of those other bookcases, and I'll start putting these on. And then the aim is, I don't just want to be listing all of this at once. I don't want it. There's a lot of Islamic stuff in there. I've got a lot of repeat buyers that come to my store, and you know, they're used to the type of products that I'm sourcing, so they come back to me because I have a lot of the same old, and it's a lot of the same old is exactly what they want. So if I was to flood my store with all this Islamic books and different types, they're just different types of books here. If I was to flood my store with that, it might hinder on my repeat business. So I need to be mixing this in with all the type of regular stuff that I source on a regular basis. So I have made a pile down here near my photography station, one pile of books that I'm just pulling out that look like they're in good condition from this haul, nice and clean. I'm giving them a wipe over with some baby wipes just to make sure they are all clean. Some of them need a little dust with the duster, but I will start drib drabbing those into my store. Here's all my boxes. Looks like it's gonna rain, so I'm gonna actually put those here in the corner, and then when I've got like more boxes, I'm just gonna do a big cardboard recycling run. But yeah, that looks better. Definitely looks better. You know what the best part was? I didn't find any bugs. No spiders, no ants, no cockroaches, no mice, no poo, nothing. So that's one really good thing, because we did sort through this really hard in the container. We threw out the stuff that was damaged or damaged by rodents or looked like it had bugs in it. We didn't bring any of that back here. I didn't want any insects coming back into my storage unit. but it is part of the reason why I want to get it all out of these boxes, and also just to like start airing it. If I can get it on these shelves, which is close to my door here, I can leave the door open, it can start airing the room in here, and the quicker I get it all out of these boxes, the better. It's so cold. I really need to get to the shops, buy some fingerless gloves, a couple more like fashion accessories for my head. I also feel like I had a very productive day out here today, and like just to be able to have got through, I reckon I got through nearly half. Do you reckon half, or maybe a third? I got through quite a bit of those boxes, and you know, I was worried that I'd have these sitting here for like a month or more, and you know, I just made the decision that's not what I want. I want this space clear. I don't like them sitting in these boxes. I want to make sure there's no bugs or anything in here. Pretty stock standard boring day. This is what resellers do, isn't it? We sort stock all day, we photograph, we pick and pack, we ship, we list, we listen to some music, watch some YouTube. It's pretty much the typical reseller's day. Okay guys, I'm gonna go home. I've still got, you know, 100 odd items that I want to get listed tonight. Thanks very much. See you in the next one.